Hi, this is Majinoni, and last night I managed to somehow survive going through Arizona's newest attraction, Panic Park. Now, Panic Park is located in Scottsdale at 8800 East Indian Bed Road. And um, one thing I want you guys to keep in mind before I actually go into it is this was opening night, and there weren't a lot of people there, which kind of makes sense in the sense it's a new attraction and not too many people probably know about it. And on top of that, it's like still early in the Halloween cycle, and a lot of the other haunted houses aren't getting like tremendous overflow of people right now. So, anyways, with Panic Park, one thing when I went in there, I like the idea of them having attractions for younger kids. Because you have the haunted house, you have three haunted houses. You have the Toxic 40 Maze thing, Haunted Hollywood backlot tour thing, and the Hellbilly Hideout. Now, outside of that, you have like an area for kids where they can go in, they get little minor scares and they get candy. There's zombie paintball, and there's a stunt show for like how to train your zombie. There was nobody at the kids section, which made sense because there were kids there, but they weren't there. They were actually running around the Hellbilly Hideout, and I'm going to talk about that in just a second. Go into more about that, and then the Hollywood stunt show one. I mean, the How to Train Your Zombie. It didn't happen. If it did happen, it happened when I wasn't there, but nobody was standing waiting to see this thing either. Zombie paintball is a joke. If you're over 10, I don't see, maybe I'll give you 12, 13. But if you're an adult, you're not going to be entertained by this. If you're a young kid, you're going to like it. There was these kids in front of me, and they were having a blast. So I did it, and I just wanted to stop. Basically, there was only one zombie, and all he did was he shuffled like this, and he moved up a little bit, and he shuffled like that, and he went like that, and he just shoot him with a paintball. I mean, he's pretty well padded, which I assumed that was going to happen, and it was just kind of like lame. I was done. But anyways, let's go into these attractions here. Now, Toxic 40 Maze. I understand that it's the newest thing that people just love, but it's really bad. You put on these really crappy 3D glasses, and the only reason I'm saying it's crappy is because like if you go to the Nest, they give you a little bit better quality plastic glasses. Panic Park uses like the cardboard type paper 3D glasses. You know, the kind like if you buy a comic book, and it comes with 3D glasses. It's that kind of quality. Now, I understand it's a tremendous amount of cost, and I'm not knocking them on cost for not going that direction. But I'm just letting you know that's what it is. Now, when you go in there, all it is just like, it's a simple maze, and the neon paint does make things pop out a little bit. There's a spinning bridge thing that make you like kind of tilt a little bit, but the effect on the bridge is not as good as the 13th floor's room, where there's a very steep slant, and you got to walk on that. So that's a fail. And on top of that, there's not enough, ghosts or toxic creatures inside this thing. It's pretty uneventful for the majority of this attraction. And that's a theme that you're going to notice throughout a lot of the other attractions. There are things that make noises and stuff like that to try to scare you, but I honestly can't see why you'd be scared. Somebody was scared, so I'm going to give... maybe I have a very high threshold of, you need to do something truly spectacular to scare me, but somebody basically refused to go, and they made my friend and I go ahead of them, which kind of made me wonder what's going on with them. Anyways, that's enough of toxic waste. Haunted Hollywood. This was it didn't resemble Hollywood at all. Uh, Nothing resembled. Well, there was one part where there was a guy pretending to be a director, and he would go chasing people around, wanting them to be his latest star type thing. That's the only thing that really resembled Hollywood. Um, there was a guy at the beginning who basically gets in your face and starts yelling at you, and I understand that a lot of times that places might use that as a way to curb the slow down the line. And I was thinking, why would you want to put something like that at the very beginning, where you're trying to get people into the park attraction, and all you've done was you've stopped the line. And I'm like, good job. Now, once you get past him, there is a chain link fence, and it just goes back and forth and back and forth. And I'm telling you, there's nothing going on in this fence other than you getting pissed off, because I'm being completely honest with this. We're looking at the actors looking at us as we're going through this fence, and they're hearing us complain. I'm not the only one who's complaining. There was other people complaining, and it was ridiculous. I mean, if you're going to put a maze of fence like that, do something in that maze, Like, the sad thing is, because it's a chain link fence, you can't have anybody around a corner, because you see them. All you're doing is annoying us because we're going back and forth, back. I just want to know who is the brain surgeon who said, hey, this would be a great idea, because it's not. Now, there is one truly freaky thing inside this attraction. I'm not going to spoil it, but I'm telling you, it was freaky. And it's not scary, but the girl in front of me, she ran. That gives you a clue. It's freaky. There's some other kind of coolish looking things inside this section, but again, it's not even scary. It's just a lot of empty space, which leads to the theme of Hellbilly Hideout. The actors in this section were actually, a lot of them tried. They were into character. You can tell they were trying to do certain, they try to live up to, the hillbilly-ish theme type thing. But what's happening is they took in Fiddlesticks, the miniature golf course section, and you're going through that section, and there's just emptiness. You're just going, down one path, you turn, you go down another path, and you turn, and you can still see parts of the miniature golf section. And I'm just going, is there something going to happen? Nothing happens. Eventually you get to parts where there's people, and there's some, they have people in, ropes and things, zipping up above you and stuff. They do that also in Haunted Hollywood, but other than that, there's just not a lot going on. Towards the end of this part of the attraction, you can tell that's where they put most of their effort. There's one actor in particular at the end. Towards the end, he's cooking something, and that's the only clue I'll give you as to what's going on. But that part was actually kind of entertaining. It's not scary, but it's just entertaining. And he did a good job. And then the rest of it just isn't scary at all. None of us. I mean, I went through each attraction with different groups, and I can pretty much say nobody was really scared. There is a chainsaw thing at the end of Hellbilly, and if that scares you, then okay, then that's something to watch out for, I guess. And the people in front of us, the girls were kind of, I'll say this, they didn't want to move forward, type thing. So, and to be fair, we did see some girls run out of there, being chased out. So there is that part, but honestly speaking, it's a snooze fest throughout pretty much the whole thing. I can say this, it's a really, really major disappointment. I really was, I had high hopes for this place. I I thought, the idea of them taking Fiddlesticks and changing it, like using it as for a haunt could actually be kind of cool. But just to give you another idea, in Hellbilly Hideout, there's a pirate ship inside Hellbilly Hideout, and I'm like, I was looking at my friend and we're like, why is there a pirate ship with hillbillies? You know, get it out of here. It doesn't belong. And that's the problem. There's things that just don't belong, and there's too much empty space. The part of the problem is because it's outside, they don't have the walls, and without having all those walls, it's harder to have people hide behind. And when you do see a wall, you automatically know there's going to be somebody hiding behind there. So it's like that kind of problem. The actors, while some of them do try very hard to entertain you, there's another group of actors who are truly inexperienced. And by that I mean, like when a group goes in, usually it's not always the best thing to scare the one in front. What you want to do is you want to let them go in first, and then get the ones in the middle or at the end. Because the ones in the middle, you have the heightened fear at the beginning, because the ones in the beginning are like, oh my goodness, oh my god, we're going to get scared. And then there's nothing, so there's that relief. And the one in the back is going, oh, good, there's nobody there. And then, boom, they get scared. And everybody jumps. See, that's the type of fear that you need. And that's the type of thing that's sorely lacking. Because they jumped at the first opportunity. And I think they were jumping at the first opportunity because maybe one, inexperience, and two, because there wasn't a lot of groups going through, and they got excited and they jumped. And it's not like regular haunted houses where it's like, okay, we know we're sending a party of 6 in every single time. You might have a party of 2. You might have a party of 4. You never know, because there wasn't a lot of people. So if you bought a VIP pass, take a look at the parking lot before you buy a VIP pass. If that parking lot's empty, don't buy it, because there's no need to go to the front of the line. You will be at the front of the line. Despite these problems that I have with this part of it, because they can fix a lot of this. You just need a little bit more money and a little bit more planning. I had another problem with, they have there's 3 wandering actors, so to speak. There's a girl who goes around by herself, and there's the Grim Reaper and somebody else that go as a team. Now, they decided to follow my friend and I. And clearly, this was the first time going. Clearly, we didn't know where we were going, other than we're just following the path. So we get to Haunted Hollywood, and it was obvious we didn't know where the entrance was, because when we walked in, where we thought an entrance might be, that's where there was nothing. And they followed us all the way up to Haunted Hollywood, and then they turned around and left. And I'm like, couldn't you have at least checked to make sure we were going into the right location, and then point us in the right direction? They heard us talk, like, well, where are we supposed to go? Maybe we should go here. Maybe I don't know. Because they were right behind us. And I thought, okay, I understand you want to stay into character, but, there's a time and a place to break character, especially when you notice that we're not scared, and go, hey, the entrance is that way. And I'm like, thanks. Thanks, guys. When we did find the entrance, it was kind of, it was basically you have to go in, and you turn right, and you go straight down. And I guess when we walked in, we turned around to the left, and we never looked down, because we never saw it. And I thought that was really bad on those two part. You do get a cool ticket. Also, before I forget, they do accept cash and credit cards, and they use an iPad, to do credit card processing. So if that is a bother to you, bring cash. But I can say this: I have no intention of going back to Panic Park next year. I think Arizona has far better haunted houses, and I think in order for Panic Park to survive, they really need to take a look at these 3 attractions, remove Toxic Maze completely, just get rid of it. And then what I would do is use that money instead of putting it into this, and I'd put it into these 2 attractions, beef these things up more, and maybe you have something. This needs a lot of work, a lot of work, before I would go back. Anyways, if you have any comments or questions, let me know. Rate the video up or down. Let me know what you think. I'm going to be hitting more haunted houses. There's going to be... I already went to the 13th floor, and that's a thumbs up. We're thinking of Chambers of Fear. We're going to be going to a haunted house in Vegas that looks incredible. And we'll do probably reviews of that stuff. So anyway, until next time.